Negative. I love you so much. All right, the button has been pushed. Oh, God, get ready for comedy.
Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. Sorry. It's on air. Oh, man, look
In the year 2000. In the year 2000. In the year 2022, the 2nd of February will fall on a Tuesday, and it will forever be known as Tuesday.
Oh, yes.
In the year 2000.
That is an astute observation. Amazing. Also Putin. I mean, come on, right? Like, what timing that guy's got. Like, I want everyone to remember.
Woo, holy crap. All right, well, we are back, and we are having a grand old time already. Lynn Woodward is here. Lynn Woodward is here. She told a fantastic story already on Instagram. I don't know if we're going to make it to the show because nobody cares about not Katy Perry. What's her name?
No, it was
Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
Swift.
Shake it off. Shake it off. It was a whole thing about shaking it off.
It's a bad story.
Oh, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Welcome back to Late Night Playset.
Instagram content.
It's that's right, exclusive for the Instagram audience. It's Tuesday, the 2nd of February in 2022. It's the Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the Late Night Playset on Tuesday. Jay Ryan sweating, working very hard already before the guest even gets in here. Nicole Ryan's here. You probably heard her. She looks like that. There she is. Wearing your DeLorean shirt. I love it. Lynn Woodward, we are excited to have you here. I don't know what the hell to talk about other than you drove our friend's 51 car the other day, and I want to hear about that as well as all the things you've been up to. All right, Ziggy says it's time to start the show. Mrs. Ryan agrees. Is anyone with us on Instagram? Yes, a few people still are. Snaky Bites is here. Carissable says, haha. I, of course, did all the zooming and mistaking before. Hello, 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 waving to everybody. Light Monster. Hank on camera 4. 9/11 Anchorman. Brother Icarus. Brother Icarus, probably. Brother Icarus. Yeah, from the book and all.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. We're going to start the show. Thanks, Will. Hit it. You trim your beard. You look great. And he did a shave. Everybody looks great. What's up, you guys? Kurt must be here. What's up? This is amazing. It's so beautiful. Hi, what's up, dude? What's up, Gus? Tommy? Hey, how are you? It's good to see you guys. Yeah. Good morning. Time to start the big. Whoa, what's happening here? Wow. All right. Well, going to have to adjust something here, I'll tell you that. We have developed a new problem with all of the wonderful things that have been happening in the studio.
The Ghostbusters.
Okay. We have someone else in the studio this evening, and it is Lynn Woodward, and she is already going. She came hot and cocked, ready to go. You look beautiful. I think it's your beautiful blonde hair. There's something with it and our lighting where whenever she gets here, there's a I don't know how to describe. Yeah, yeah.
Halo.
She's gonna say halo.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, all right, now this is going to be a problem. Does anyone know why that would have happened? What have you been doing in here? I farted around with everything except this microphone in the studio. Everything in the studio except this microphone. Learn to talk right. I got it. We're working on it. The whole thing's a process. It is Tuesday, February 22nd, as I mentioned. I'm wearing this shirt because it's the only shirt I have that denotes twos. Everything else I have is ones for obvious reasons. But in a crazy coincidence of all things, we watched this movie last night. We watched Jackass 2 last night. Totally bizarrely and strangely. So that's why I'm wearing this shirt. Cool. And there's a new Jackass out right now, so look, we're supporting that as well. And apparently I'll just have to hold this all night, and this is what it'll look like while we do. So I told you, February 22nd to 20 blah, blah, blah. It's Tradecraft Tuesday. Here you are.
Thanks.
This is going to become a problem. My issue is that I don't really know how to fix it right now without, like, breaking something. Huh. I might break something. Because it's going to get to me, and I might just break something.
It's going to drive you insane, and I wish I'd caused it so I could fix it, but I was not anywhere near it all day.
No, I'm just kidding. I know that this is not you at all. All right, so there's a couple things we need to talk about in the professional sense of, hey, you're doing a show here. Hi, Corey Sabia. Hi, Nate Callie, Hungry Eights, Urca 918, etc., etc. We've got some stuff to talk about. It's Lit Week. That snuck up on us.
Wow.
Yeah. The last time there was one was pre-COVID. It was 2020, and there's a Porsche thing if you're into. Yeah, you know it.
The books.
Yeah, the books and toys, etc.
toys
Became basically a swap meet for all things Porsche. So 2020 was the last one, and this week of 2020, and then COVID, and then everything shut down within like a week or two afterwards.
Oh yeah.
So they haven't done it since, but now it's happening. So that's a big thing here in Los Angeles. And
We should get a string and just tie it to your head or your neck.
that won't annoy me even a little bit. A string attached to my head.
Right?
I mean, I'd rather just make sure that this. I don't know what happened here in the first place, but it's definitely something. And in the meantime, maybe I'll fix this during the TBT. I have a TBT video about the Lit Week, but specifically on Thursday. Don't mind me while I multitask here. On Thursday, the big one that I know that we're going to is Sierra Madre Collection. Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
Shut down the whole street. I don't know if they're doing that.
I do.
Or not this year, but given our current situation, we can just pull up a table there and not have to walk anywhere and deal with any of that stuff. Nope, didn't help
You're
with the
welcome.
So that's what we'll be doing, and like I said, the TBT video, which we have to do it today. So, all right. Then quickly, we'll do two things quickly. We'll do viewer mail and TBT, okay? The viewer mail comes to us. Who remembers the band the Deftones? They're still around, and they've expanded into the cannabis world. Here we go. Deftones Cannabis Collection. What we have here is the first official product for you to try for your foundation, even though the foundation isn't even officially open and started yet. Everything's in the works. And from the band, the Deftones, and our good friend Paul Rivera from Rivera Amps, comes this wonderful care package with all of their stuff. We got tincture here. We got a vape pen here. There's all sorts of edibles and different flour and I think stuff in here. So it's a lot to do when your microphone doesn't stay put, I'll tell you. Piece of cake. Thanks to our friends at Deftones, but also you are going to be trying these products and then also writing a review to post on social media and stuff. And you can talk about them here on the show if you want as well. Whatever's better.
I can't wait.
And we'll just leave that there for now.
Don't move. Don't move a
Nobody
thing.
move anything. And that's what we're going to do with that. So that's the viewer mail. And I'm excited about that. One, because it's good for you and everything we want to do. But two, like, nice to start out with like a real official thing here. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this feels good. This feels like on brand and stuff.
I showed it off all Sunday when we got it.
Oh, did you really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I like
That's
the
funny.
packaging.
Do you?
That's-
Do you remember the
Good
band?
packaging. Oh, I totally do. The Mighty Deftones, right? Is that the same
See,
thing? Or no?
I said, I made the same mistake. Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Oh.
I did the same thing. Yeah, no, I did the same
Yeah,
thing.
don't ask me about music.
No, it's all right. I did the exact same thing.
I'm gonna
Everyone's smiling and laughing. Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
leave now.
No, that's all right. We all did the same thing.
Dumbass.
I know the Mighty Mighty Boston's from a song they had in Clueless.
Yeah.
I couldn't
A lot of
even name
stuff.
a song.
Basketball.
I couldn't even name a song.
Oh.
That's why.
I just had
Swingers,
the
maybe?
Clueless soundtrack, and I played it in
Oh,
my
were they
car all
on
the
that?
time.
What a great
Oh, yeah.
movie that was. Okay.
It's so good.
I want to hear about Clueless.
Someone I work with's friend wrote it.
Someone you worked with's friend wrote Clueless?
Yeah.
Who? Who'd you work with?
Her name was Sophia. I worked with her at MDM. It was a long time
Oh, I
ago.
see. Before you were not someone famous, just a. Look what I did.
You didn't.
It was a habit, Lynn. It was a habit. All right, so we're just gonna keep the hi, Jeff Zwart. Hello. I am assuming that you guys can hear us and all of our microphones.
Yes.
The complaint on Instagram previously would be that we had a mic here and an external thing, and there was no way to get everybody. I think we have tied the whole system in so that you can now hear Lynn when she speaks,
Hi.
and then
I'm not
Nicole
gonna
when
say
she
anything
speaks,
interesting.
Hello.
and I never shut the hell up.
Is Jeff Zwart watching right now?
Yes, Jeff Zwart is here
so
live.
I have a feeling at some point, this is one of those things where you feel like your paths have kind of crossed on some weirdo level. Because I was in,
You're a
and you
weirdo
guys
level.
know about this, I was in advertising for a very, very long time and worked for a company called Goodby Silverstein and Partners, who worked a lot with Radical Media, which is a company that he started.
Helped
and
found,
so,
yeah.
And so I feel like I've been in a pre-pro or two at that, like with him in an office, and like we just didn't at that one point like make the connection, and now it's like post those times.
Oh.
But
well,
hi.
he's incredibly friendly, and he
Hi,
comes up to
Zwart.
Breakfast Club every once in a while,
That's
like once a
awesome.
year, whenever he's in town, and doesn't mind making that long drive.
That's very cool.
So there you go. So Lynn Woodward says hello, Jeff Swart, and she's right over there.
It's like, I don't know that chick. Weirdo.
I bet he might. He
I
might know you.
mean, maybe we worked on an account with or on a commercial together a billion years ago, so it's possible.
Mrs. Ryan is medicating with Sticky Vape. Sticky Vape from our friends at Tradecraft Farms. What we have here is one of the non-refillable cards, the old school, thing on the pen there, and it's but it's the same thing you like there. King Louis, and it's a Royal Body High. Is the mood? The mood is Royal Body High. How is it, Your
Greatly.
Highness?
I'll let you know.
Oh, was that your first?
Yes.
Okay. This is what I was thinking of. We had this doohickey here into the thing here, but then it's only fire in one direction. So now, theoretically, all of the broadcast, the music, everything theoretically is pumped in here, which is good. Not a billion years ago, says Jeff Swart. That's probably true. Hi. Not a billion years ago.
Okay, a million years ago. No. 100,000 at the most.
All right, so that and TBT Lit Week. Gosh, is that it? Yeah, because we spent a lot of time up top, and we were late. How long is the actual show? 14 minutes. Okay, back-timed it. Good. Porsche Enthusiast is here. Hello, Porsche Enthusiast. Great to see you. Let us do the TBT video so I can try and fix this microphone and move on with my life. Stand by. Here we go. Good call, says. Oh no, good evening, says the real Batmobile. Oh, I'm so sorry we didn't get to see you this weekend, Rick. Just energy and everything else. It was not. There was not enough. One Vintage bought a badge. I forgot. Badges are available, everybody. Thank you for buying a badge. The badges go towards advertising the show, which has gone towards building viewership, which has been working. If you've noticed, there have been ads running on the show whatever posts and then people blah blah blah. We can hear you. The light over Nicole's head. Oh no, that was my fault. There we go. There we go. I figured that out. Skip Plus. That should be better. How's that? The light over Nicole's head is shining right into Instagram camera and making the two of you very red. Oh, that happens. We could be embarrassed also. That happens from time to time on my front anyway. And on my back. Sorry. Oh, by the way, yeah, sorry, YouTube audience over there's just been staring at TBT for a while I play with the Instagram. All right. Back to it. Here we go. Too many goddamn buttons. I thought everything would be simple, and then I got really flustered before the show, and it's going to end up being better because everyone loves when I'm flustered. All right, here we go. Roll it out. I've got that already. Hey-o.
So our award to the driver, best driver, goes to a Mr.
I know these people. Oh, hi, Dev Sushi. There's all sorts of people. Look at this. Hi, everybody. We were just trying to find your car.
Can't miss it.
Pop quiz, hot shot. Serenity rocks.
Hi.
How are you?
Really good.
Where are we going to see you next?
We are going to Correct.
See you there. Where are we going?
Here,
See you there. Who are we? Period correct.
Party happened.
fire started over here, and it burned down the whole building. If you guys really stepped up as a community, people donated tools, they donated materials, they donated money.
Right here. Mulholland Highway is closed. So, cross that off. There's a pen in my trunk.
Nice. Well, at least I think it is. I forget how much stuff we did that week, how long that video is, and how many things we did.
That was a lot.
Holy cow. Sean Winograd is here. Hello, Sean Winograd. Man, uh-oh. Still, it's way better, and your solution. Okay, so during the break there, Lynn had been telling me to get some tape, and I was like, I don't want to do that. That's a temporary solution. Here I am, Mr. Engineer over here, right? I'm like, I've got a better way. And nothing I was doing was working. So I went over and got some tape, and it seems to have... It's much, much better. I don't know exactly what the nature of the problem is, but the tape has significantly improved it. And it was holding still until I moved it a second ago. So... buy badges. People are buying badges. Thank you for buying badges. The Almond Blake is here. The Altman Blake. Tobio, Yellow, okay. Mug Central over here. We have lots and lots of mugs. It's mugs. It's going to have special on mugs. I won't touch yours, but this is ridiculous. We have to do commercials, Mrs. Ryan. They say all which separates men and boys is the coverage of their toys. What types of toys, Mrs. Ryan?
Collector.
That's right!
Every time.
Licensed in most states, Sinclair Insurance shop's top provider, so you get the best coverage for your toys. Simply go to Google. You got to get your computer out first. You plug your computer in. You get the dial-up going. Then you go to the www. You go to your Google, okay? And then after you've done all that, go to coverageforyourtoys.com. Coverageforyourtoys.com.
Coverageforyourtoys.com.
Make sure I unmuted us, or all this is for naught. Love from Kansas says the Dave. I was wondering where the Dave dwelled. The Dave dwells from Kansas.
Neato.
When in doubt, go for the gaff tape. That. Wow. Okay, right? You called it. Lynn Woodward suggested it. It solved the problem. And I fought the solution all the way. I was wrong. See how easy that is? I was wrong. We had a friend, this is a totally separate story, but we had a friend who had gotten into it with another friend recently, and who knows why. People get into it. People are different. Who knows? Whatever. And we thought, oh, man, it's kind of weird that how they got into that. Oh, it's kind of a bummer, you know. And then we found out the other day that the person who had kind of been a little bit weird went to the other person and said, hey, you know what? I'm sorry I was weird. That was weird. I don't have an excuse, but I'm sorry about it, and it won't happen again. And then they were both fine. And then they told us about it, and it was like the most heartwarming moment.
Yeah. It was the most wonderful experience of like how everyone can drop their shit and make everything good.
It's really fun to be an adult sometimes,
Yeah.
because that's magic I didn't have as a kid. I mean, sometimes I don't have it till 15 minutes ago. You know what I mean?
Same.
Anyway, coverageforyourtoys.com, coverageforyourtoys.com.
Coverageforyourtoys.com.
Tell Jeff Sinclair that you saw it on the playset. Marcia Beto is here. Skip Plus bought a badge. Thanks, Skip. Persang 356. Hello, Persang. Outstanding. And this is Jay Ryan, but on behalf of Nicole Ryan from Late Night Playset, reminding you to please like, subscribe, and comment below. This feeds the internet algorithm and eventually us as well. The button's not working. Be a pal, like, subscribe, and comment below. It'll be fire. But there's no way to show that. It's all happening. Well, here comes the late smoke for the fire. We put a lot of effort into it, so you may as well see it. There it goes. Seems to be some issues with it this evening, and I can't tell you what they are. But here it comes. Slowly but surely leaking out. Wow, it looks like my pants are on fire. All right. Now, finally, it is time to take a break. Okay. The break is very swift. It's a few brief words from our friends at Oh So Delicious Hot Sauce. But what we're doing while we do that is Lynn Woodward's going to come sit in the chair here. She's going to have a sip of her water that she's been dying to have. And I'm going to move some cameras around so we can all see her and her beautiful hair and the whole thing. Oh So Delicious Hot Sauce. The hot sauce, Mrs. Ryan.
Made by bears.
Oh, so delicious. It's the hot sauce made by bears. Garlic and serrano mixed with love and care. You can put it on your eggs, pour it on your rice. It's great on a leg, it's better on a slice. It's oh so delicious. It's the hot sauce made by bears. Oh, so delicious hot sauce. Great on everything except oatmeal.
Get your bottle today at ohsodelicious.org. $1 from every bottle sold goes to the National Military Family Association.
You do, because you're awesome.
I'm Johnny Lieberman, and you're watching LNP. What does LNP stand for?
Late Night Playset.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I've been on there. It's a good show. You should like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
There you go. What are you driving today? 63 356B. Hey, 111. What are you driving today? Here we go. Oh, this is fun, David. Thumbs up for sure.
This just proves that you don't have to go fast to have fun.
You don't have to go fast. Can you see my smile already?
Okay, I'm impressed.
You don't need to stick it. He's already got it. My car's going to feel slow as balls after this, I'll tell you that. Pedal down. Yeah, baby.
What did you forget?
Over here during the interview segment.
Oh.
But of course, I rewired
That's
everything.
better than no one will have to look at me.
I
It's
rewired
fine.
everything in a manner.
I can just lean forward like this if
No, yes. I mean, it'll be great. It's just not where it usually would be and whatever.
Very good.
So yeah, I forgot something.
Oh, here we
And
are.
it is what it is. Okay, well, I'll play the actual music and then I'll do this. Oh, look at that! I didn't move the camera though. So with that, we are back here with Lynn Woodward, who is going to be on camera right here, right now.
Which one?
There we go.
5?
Yes, wherever the red light is, actually.
Hi, red light.
Hi,
Hi,
I'm going to
everybody.
move the other camera over right now while you say hello to Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi, I'm so glad you came.
I am thrilled to see you. Him,
Same.
not so much. Just you. I did everything wrong when I first got here. So now, I'm just going to talk to you the
You
rest of
just
the time.
experienced life in the vortex of this house.
That's right. That's right. I mean, come on. There's no right or wrong answer. Although I didn't really expect that you guys would see my shoes. These are what I call my baked potatoes. I wear these, and they look like baked potato shoes. They're probably like a little too hippie-ish and a little too comfortable.
Which is what makes them great, and no one cares.
No one cares. It's cold. It is a cold day in California.
Is true.
In Los Angeles today.
Are they not Uggs? Are they look?
No.
They're
They're like they're like weird felted like slip. Well, they're not. They're outdoor like old lady
House
slippers.
shoes?
Maybe house shoes is a good way to put it. That's right.
I have house shoes. I love them.
I have so much pairs of them.
Really?
Yeah. Well, hi, pandemic. What else are you gonna wear?
Oh,
House shoes.
Yeah, I did a lot of that.
You gotta. For your sanity. What are you going to do? Put on heels? This isn't a James Bond movie. I'm not in high heels all the time.
I know this is whatever. We're all over the place. But what the fuck did you do during the pandemic? Like, did you?
I thrived.
You did?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I did a lot of writing, which was really fantastic. Still worked, still shot a lot of video, and I work for Kelley Blue Book. That's my full-time job for people who don't know, and I review new cars for Kelley Blue Book.
Very entertaining.
And we went, so there were some things that we kind of had to make adjustments on. So we used to use a production company, and I'd have a crew of like 2 or 3 guys helping me, do sound and do this. And so I kind of went from that to, okay, Lynn, so you're solo now, and here's an Osmo and a phone, and here's how you work it. Now go. And I was like, this is going to be a big mistake.
Legitimately one-person crew, just you doing everything.
Legitimately one-person crew, which to be honest, I think a lot of people in my business, they already do that. They are rock stars. They'll go to an event, a press event, and they will have their tripod, and they will have their thing, and they will just set it up, and they'll do a walk around of the car, and they don't have all of those sort of other things. I guess I was ridiculously spoiled. But I'm not a photographer. And so one of the things I really like about KBB's videos is we kind of have this cinematic approach to them. So you'll never see a locked off shot. You'll never see, we like dynamic things. We like putting music in our videos. We like kind of making them, give them a little bit of energy. Production value.
Sure.
Exactly. And so, so when it came time for Lynn to start doing the beauty shots for the cars.
Lynn, the crew person.
Oh boy, guys.
Lynn Talent doesn't identify with Lynn, the crew person. I get it.
It was abundantly clear that Lynn was a strong writer. And not so much a camera gal. Because
but you were always a performer. I think of you as a performer because
but you're in front of the camera. You're not behind the camera going, I think this angle is good.
Oh, yeah, I see your point.
And I'm trying. Listen, I tried my very, very best, but I would. So I remember I shot when the new Mercedes GLA came out. And I was always trying to find shade because I'm like, bright sun, bad, right? Too glary, too blown out. These are my thoughts. So I parked it I went to a park and I parked it right underneath a tree. And it was black. And of course, Mercedes, gorgeous, shiny, black paint, highly reflective.
Yeah.
All of the trees are basically in the paint of the thing.
But, yeah.
And my boss was like, can barely see the car. It's like you camouflaged it with the thing, and I was like, I'm sorry. I thought it was a pretty setting. I thought I was doing a good thing.
It probably looked invisible, like a cloaked type of situation.
It looked like it was in camo, and
that's it.
I just said it's funny because, and I joke with him about this now that we're past that stage. Every single video that I took. And he's the one that edited them all, because thank God he did not ask me to do that. I'd still be editing that GLA video.
Oh, so you would just shoot it and turn it in.
I would shoot it and turn over all the footage.
Still a lot.
Guaranteed. Every single video that I shot during the pandemic when it was just me, there is some sort of Lynn screaming expletives about, fuck this fucking shit, I fucking hate this.
The outtake, the gag reel's great.
The behind the scenes, and I'm just thinking, your boss is going to fire you because you are so not a team player right now. And so at one point I just explained to him, I said, I don't like things I'm not good at. They frustrate me.
How did that go over?
He's wonderful. He's the best boss on the planet.
You never know. I mean, that's the type of thing. Hey, I'm not really into doing my job and stuff.
No, but he knew that the parameters of the job had changed dramatically. And as for everybody, right, we all had to make these crazy pivots. And so this was sort of dropped in my lap very unexpectedly. And I suppose to my credit, I really did try my best, and I got better at it marginally. But
I don't want to go investigate now because I remember what your videos always look like. I used to
but
watch
you know
them.
what? He was such a good editor that he could just
He hit it.
He would hide it. Or this was the great thing is when we would have to do car to car, we would have to be together, but we would sort of stay apart. He'd throw the cameras on a car, and then he'd be like, well, let me just get a couple extra shots, like just in case. And of course, inevitably, when I would go to see the rough cut, I'd be like, yeah, that's all his stuff. Like maybe there's one like shot of mine, like a gratuitous like pan shot or something that was like not horrifying. The engine shot that I took, like trying to tell me like you walk smoother when you walk around it. I'm like, can't do.
And you're just walking with an Osmo in your...
I thought, where's the Steadicam action, right? I should be able to skip with this thing. No,
it's not quite that.
It was very challenging for me. It's just having to use a completely different skill set.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm good at still photography, but video is just...
You're probably good at all of it. It's just a lot to do at once.
Not my jam. That's the other thing is you're so stressed out about like I have to do my lines and I've got to talk about the car and I've got to do this and I've got to do that and did I cover this? Did I get that headlight or did I like?
And no one
to
verify it. There's no one to bounce it back off of. No, you said it on take 3.
Can't remember.
Back to the
one.
one.
And then when you're in the car, that's the other thing that's so weird is when you're in the car and you're talking to a GoPro. I'm sure you guys have done this a million times. How hard is it to go back and try and remember what it was that you said? And then if you're connecting it to voiceover, like where like if there's any connective tissue and you're like,
if it's not, if my bullets aren't like, if it's not done ahead of time, the thought out process, no way.
Exactly.
It's all stream of conscious.
Exactly.
Especially when you're driving.
Which is why, and I think there are a couple of people who are like, she sounds like she's writing off a script. And I write all of my reviews first, the way that I would if I were working for a magazine. Mm-hmm. And then I select what I'm going to say on camera and then what I'm going to say as voiceover. But I write all of my own opinions and I do all of my own reviews. But if you don't do that, then you're left with this kind of meandering, thoughtless, like, oh, did I talk about that 3 times? And
that's where I live.
Other bit,
I live in that place.
So for me, like having that blueprint, having that organization is so important. But when you're on camera and you're talking about it, there's no memory of that.
No, and I can't tell one take from the other. Like, oh, that was take 4 in the other room, and then when we switched over here to the table, it was take 6. I'm like,
could you print that one, editor?
Right. And by the way, I'm excellent at that stuff if I'm watching you work. Like if I'm your script supervisor or something like that, like continuity and everything else, no problem. It's up here locked. But if you're firing on whatever, it's like left brain, right brain. If you're doing both at the same time, how could you possibly be expected to remember it real time?
You can't. Plus pandemic,
God,
man.
Now that we got to the bottom of that.
Right. So over the pandemic, there was a lot of like pivoting and learning, but there was also a lot of time to be able to just be at home and to work and to write. And that was just like, oh my gosh, amazing.
Yeah. So you turned it into good stuff. You eliminated it.
I turned it into good stuff. There was, I'm very grateful. I know that it was really, really difficult for a lot of people, and I saw a lot of good friends go through some really, really difficult and really terrible stuff. I lost some friends. Yeah,
oh, sorry.
Friends' dads mostly, which was really, really hard. People very close to me. So, it's been a mixed bag, but you try and find the silver linings in all of it, right? Because that's what we do.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, you have to. Otherwise, like, what's the point, right? We literally just said, like, sometimes, plans change. And you just have to sort of find a way to go, okay.
Yeah. Well, then what do we do from here?
It's not going to change back the anger you get. Like, you have to move forward.
All that does is take up precious energy.
Yep.
And you could be using that energy for so many other things.
So
writing.
More positive.
We have that in
ways.
common, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's such a great way to sort of like live in this space here and still be able to express yourself. So I'm super grateful that I have that.
Do you write outside of your automotive work?
Yeah, I do.
You do, okay.
Yeah,
Because
I
I know
do.
that you have done other projects in the past.
I have, yeah. I actually just finished a movie.
All right, let's
No
talk about that.
way.
It's the crossover show.
I mean, I literally turned it in yesterday evening. Hopefully the final polished draft. And
As in, though, somebody paid you to write this.
yes.
Outstanding.
Yes.
Congratulations.
That's
so
great.
huge.
Thank
Huge.
you.
That's huge.
Thank you. Whether we sell it or not is another question.
that's
But
all the
that's
steps.
okay.
That's
all the
It's
steps.
baby
It's a
steps.
step.
Exactly.
I've written stuff before,
great.
but like when somebody pays you for it, it's different.
yes.
I know,
Yes.
I know you're a paid writer all the time, but
Not
it's a
necessarily.
different medium.
Not necessarily. I mean, there are things at this point. I feel like, okay, there are certain things that I think, yeah, I'm not going to do that for no money. Like if it's not a project that I truly believe in, or something that I think, yeah, this is worth it. Then I've definitely passed on things. But sometimes I also think that what you get out of it and the return on your investment doesn't always come in dollar form. And so for me, there are so many things there's so many like sort of mitigating factors of, is it something that I think will challenge me as a writer? Because I'm all about that and I want to do that. And I'm working on another project right now, which is I'm adapting a biography, and that's
intense.
so hard to do. You
Holy
think,
cow.
oh man, like it's a book, it's all already
it's there.
there.
For you. No way.
You don't.
Wow.
You don't
Adapting
even
a
know.
biography to screenplay?
Yeah.
That is tough because you get to decide how it's done. You can do it out of order, out of sequence. I mean,
Yeah.
your
You
storytelling
get
is
to
up to you.
contextualize the whole thing.
That's the other part of it. And this is a person who lived quite a while ago. And so there really isn't a whole lot about
Larry Flint.
the personality. Yeah,
Larry Flynn, right? I knew it.
there's plenty of him.
I knew it.
Could you imagine? I'm pretty sure they already did that
Like, he
movie
hasn't been
anyway.
around for a while. I was like,
Yikes.
let's see, who could it be? Public figure, right?
No, it does live in the motorsports world, which is
Figured,
great because
but-
I'm able to kind of combine both of the things that I love very much. But
and that you're very knowledgeable about.
well, I mean, it's definitely helpful. Like you writing the scene, like writing some scenes about automotive, and like the producer is like, wow, this really is like jumping off the page. This is
She
really
knows what she's
great.
talking about here.
I'm like, yeah, it's not my first rodeo talking about cars and like imagining what that sounds like and what that is. So it is very, it's hard because you read the book and you're like, oh, I got to stay really true to the letter of the book. But sometimes
That's a
it just
choice, right?
doesn't dramatize well on screen. I mean, you look at a movie like Ford versus Ferrari, and I've heard, Leo Beebe was not the evil guy that he was painted out to be. And then I try and have these conversations with friends and say, yeah, but drama, conflict is what sort of moves any story forward, and that's what we connect with as human beings. It doesn't matter if they were, driving race cars or schlepping garbage cans. Like the idea is about the human drama, and it just happens to be wrapped up in the world of motorsports. And so you do have to take license. You only have 2 hours or so to tell this pretty big story,
Right.
and you have to compress and you have to composite characters and things. So it is. Whoa. If I knew now what I knew then.
But am I right about, here's what I think, and then tell me if I'm right about it or not. Here's what I think. Sorry. I'm trying to understand the process.
Yeah.
In my mind, you would read the whole book once, twice, 3 times, whatever it takes for you, to get a feel for who the person was that they're trying to, who this biography says the person was.
Yes.
And then from that, I feel like you have complete artistic freedom to then, within those confines, tell a story. So if he had, you know what I mean, if there was an incident that happened 3 times, maybe you condense it to 1 time, that it can, whatever the heck it is.
Exactly.
But you then have the license to do that. Am I right with a biography, or would that not be true because of all the real stuff?
You are. I think you are right about that. But there is a conscience that you have as a writer of, I want to make sure that I tell this person's story correctly.
Your own responsibility.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to take too much license. I don't want to be frivolous. I don't want to misrepresent somebody, especially the person that I'm writing about. Really all that exists is newspaper articles, maybe some snippets of quotes of stuff, but
Because it was so long ago. Oh, okay.
and so trying to compile a personality and a life around that is very, very challenging. And so having to kind of let go of that sort of that feeling of responsibility of trying to stay true to the story has been challenging. And also, I think you're right, context is very, very important. So you have to take into account, like, what time period this was. What were things like for people just existing, and how.
Why is that a thing that you're covering in the movie?
Right,
Like, that
right.
context shows why things are important.
Why were they important socially at the time?
Yes.
Right. What's the relevance?
And that has to play a role in it because of how everyone's behavior is then sort of dictated because of that. So
Right. Otherwise, it's all out of place. Why are they acting that way?
Absolutely. That doesn't seem real. I would never do that. Well, yeah, but this
Right, but in
was,
the
you know,
60s or
100
whenever
years
it
ago,
was,
and
right.
you're like, different stuff. So
Wow.
it's been a process.
Is it that long ago? So that like whoever the biography interviewed, like the biographer
Yes.
interviewed, like they're not even around anymore.
Oh,
that
no,
kind of thing.
not even around. There are family members, but they're distant family members.
That's
and
different.
Very
It's
different.
Removed.
It's very removed, and so I think even more reason to be able to sort of construct and kind of put it in a larger, sort of a larger context as far as what it would have been like for a person like that to be in. But
Does it then become what the social agenda is? Whoever's writing the check for you to write this piece? Because I wonder, if it's someone who's gone this long, does it become?
it hasn't been. I mean, as far as the conversations that I've had back and forth with the producer that I'm working with, we're very much on the same page of the story that we believe is the important story to tell.
Well, that's nice.
Which is fantastic.
Nice to be on the same side of things.
Very, very important. Yeah, very huge, very important. And we've worked really well together on it, and so it's definitely has been. But things that I think like, oh, that's perfectly clear, and I totally get that, and he's just like, yeah, no. I'm like, okay. The first no, I remember.
That's great, though, right? Isn't that what you want out of a?
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. And he and I, this is the third project we've worked on together. So he
You're
kind
partners
of
already.
he
You got
knows
this
me.
down.
He knows me pretty well, and he knows my work. And it is funny. The first draft that I turned in of the movie, his first note was, "There's way too much racing in it. Like you gotta cut." Like,
Really?
Yeah. He's
Okay.
like, "That's expensive."
Oh,
He's got his like
he's-
producer
production hat is
on.
on. Yeah, I do the same thing
That
whenever we watch movies.
And, even if it's a racing movie, it's really, again, like what we were saying before, it's about character and it's about the people. And so that's the part that's really interesting. And I literally, and this was, I almost wanted to be like, I'm going to prove you wrong. I watched Ford versus Ferrari and I timed all of the racing scenes.
Oh, it's so small.
Of how long it was. And I was like, shit, he's right.
That movie is surprisingly low budget when you look at what they pulled off.
Yeah.
It's, as someone who knows what those things cost, like on
Yep.
dollars and cents, I'm actually blown away with what
Yeah.
they pulled off with that movie. I think it's really a work of art.
But what they did, what Mangold did when they were on the track, and how he shot those cars, and how he just captured all of that stuff, and a lot of it was in camera, not a lot of
Yes.
CG stuff, and I believe he was very adamant about trying to do as much of that as he could on in camera.
Because it was period of the time, is how they were doing things.
Yeah.
It takes you out. You lose that sense of motion and whatever that fierceness is of being being in a race car, whatever that they showed.
Yeah.
You lose it if it's computer generated, probably.
Oh, yeah. But pretty much that entire third act, I think, was all the race, which is fantastic. And the racing is so, it's so good in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just gut wrenching too, though, if you know how the story goes. 'Cause
Right.
It's just,
I
both reasons, for
know.
both getting fucked
know.
with first place, excuse my language, and then obviously the ultimate end to Ken Miles is a bummer and a half if you know the story.
A complete tragedy.
I was
But-
blown away by the talent in that movie too, by the way, because I didn't know if Matt Damon was really. I was like, Kel Shalbamian, I guess, all right, whatever. But he killed it, I thought, and then what's his name? Good for you,
Christian Bale.
Wow, he got robbed.
That guy
He was
just
the
morphs
best.
into every character he ever played. I think I remember it was at maybe 10 years after he first came on the scene that I heard him at an award show, and I was like, that's that dude's normal voice. Like I had no idea what he even sounded like. Or
What was the first thing you saw him in? Do you think that you can remember? And not that this.
It's
going to
be like Swing Kids, I think.
Oh, that might be before me. It was the American Psycho one.
Oh, I never saw that movie. Swing Kids, I think, was the first movie, or Empire of the Sun, even.
That's huge, and he was a little kid in that.
He was a little kid in that.
Right.
Just
I
I'm
forgot he was a
completely
child actor.
dating myself now.
No, that's a great movie. That's is it not Bruce Lee? No, but it's Universal. It came out at the same time as the Bruce Lee story. Empire of the Sun is it's Spielberg, isn't it?
Spielberg.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine that's like your first big gig. No pressure. Ah. I mean, that guy has chops.
He's good at picking kids too. Shia LaBeouf, I think, was him too.
Yeah.
Or he put him in a lot of stuff. Anyway.
Yeah. He's good.
What's going on with you? You moved over COVID too, didn't you?
I did.
How was your new place?
Oh my gosh.
Are you?
I love
That's
it.
good. Oh, good.
No, I love it. I really like the kind of the first person in my family to ever own a place.
Oh, congratulations.
Like it's been really incredible. It's a tough market in Los Angeles, and so you kind of look at stuff and you're like, oh, I can never afford that, and oh my goodness. The way that it kind of happened for me was a pretty remarkable story. I mean, I've always been kind of looking in this one specific area because it's near where my parents live, and I thought, oh, this would be, I would never want to be too far away from them because I try and always be there to help them out with stuff. And I would always look at these, you look at the houses that are like $1.5 million and you're like, whoa, yeah, right.
And it's not what the rest of the country thinks of at a $1.5 million house.
Although I just saw a report today, 481 cities throughout the country, the median price of a home is $1 million now.
What?
481 cities in the United States.
That's crazy.
That really surprises. I don't know if I believe. Is that true?
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe.
That means that there are 27 small little communities, little cities in the Bay Area, or 7. I think New York and Chicago were both tied, 79, and maybe it's little boroughs or little areas kind of in that within the New York City
amazing.
area. But it's amazing how
the
expensive.
metropolis, obviously the metropolitan areas are.
Yes, yeah. I at one point I thought, why don't you just put some we all go on Zillow. Did you guys see that SNL spoof of Zillow?
That was a good,
if you haven't
fake
seen
commercial.
it, where's the camera? If you haven't seen it, audience, go watch that because A, it's hilarious, and B, it is nothing true. There was no truer sketch on Saturday Night Live. So just sort of joking around, always looking at
Is
things.
that the one where everything's gone before they?
No, that's the one where everyone's like, are you looking for a new fantasy?
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's like a 1-900 number almost.
Dan Levy. He was the host on that. And it's
that's funny.
Try Zillow. It's like, oh, this one has mature landscaping. Oh. People are just going nuts because it's anyway, it's really funny. And so I thought, all right, well, I'm just going to enter something that's actually realistic for me. What is it that I need? Nothing more.
Oh, because it's you check a bunch of boxes, right?
Yeah,
for
but
what
you're
you want.
but it's your fantasy. You're looking at other people's houses, and you're like, I don't know, I want that. I want a sunroom. I want a pool cabana. Who doesn't? So I started looking.
Need a pool.
I started looking realistically, and I literally, it was literally the first one I saw. It was a mile away from where I live. I went and saw it on Valentine's Day last year. 2 days later, I went with my mom to go look at it. She loved it. And I was like, all right, if I can get my parents on board, then maybe that's bad. The next day, I took my dad. My dad and my mom came. That night, I put in an offer. The next day, it was accepted.
No, it doesn't happen like that.
I mean, the escrow lady was like, you don't know. She's like, this
Los
is
Angeles
insane. So the crazy thing is the number of the apartment is the same as my birth date. So I wrote all this in the letter. This is why I was like, this is my home. This is my place. I am supposed to be here. And I wrote a letter to the lady, tugging at the heartstrings.
I love
'cause
that.
I knew that other people would be.
Our realtor had us do that for this
yes,
place. I
would
love
be
that.
would be bidding on the place, and I said, listen, I grew up in this area, and this is like I love this area, and so I did all of that, and one thing kind of led to another. It all just was like the cogs of a machine, just going like click, 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 click. I signed my papers on my birthday.
Oh my God!
And the best part of it
and
is
your apartment number.
and my apartment number. And the best part is I closed escrow on April Fool's Day.
Hilarious. That's just weird.
So perfect.
Whoa.
It was just the easiest thing. And literally the escrow lady was like, the loan guy was like, I've never seen a loan go through this fast. And the escrow lady was like, this is the fastest I've ever seen papers happen.
Everything was meant to be.
And so I was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And every time I walk into the apartment, I can't believe I get to live there.
Oh,
It's
God,
so
that warms my heart.
It's like it's just I never ever thought I would own a place. I've lived in rented apartments since I was
ever
0.
Yeah, ever.
It was just never something that I thought I would be able to accomplish, especially in a place like Los Angeles.
That's tough.
Sorry. Yeah, no.
How do your parents feel about it?
Oh gosh, they love it.
They must be incredibly proud
They're
of you.
so pleased and so happy, and
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, they're proud of me. They'd be proud of me if I didn't do it. But I've worked pretty hard, and so for this to be able to go home to where I get to go home to is like, wow. I feel really, really fortunate.
You do work very hard, and you're a great person, and you deserve it. So don't forget that in the back of your head.
Thank you. Thanks for that. Yeah. So
I
you guys
mean
have to come over for lasagna.
We love lasagna.
I make a good lasagna.
We love lasagna. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else. You drove Eric Williams' Project 51
yes,
car.
I was about to call it the Area 51 car, but yes, the Project 51.
How is that? I've driven
The
his
car-
golden ticket car, and it's one of my favorite long hoods I've ever driven.
Yeah, the car, I did get to drive it for a little bit. He actually said to me, he's like, you are the only other person other than me who has ever driven this car.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, oh, wow, okay, that's awesome. Like, that was very generous of him. I'm actually doing a write-up of it for Panorama Magazine, which is pretty cool.
Excellent.
I love working for them. And
do you regularly work for them? I didn't
this
realize
is the
that.
second. This will be the second thing that I've written for them.
That's terrific.
The first story that I wrote
It's
was
the PCA magazine.
The
if no
PCA
one
magazine,
knows,
right? Porsche Club of America. So the first article that I wrote for them was about a woman who has a 356, and it was the same car that her mother owned. It was
like the same one?
The same car that her mother owned.
Whoa.
She went on this basically this sort of journey to find this car, and it's a kind of a marvelous and amazing thing that she found this car again and is bringing it back to trying to restore it to its sort of glory days. But yeah, it was a pretty cool story. I got to write that, and then the editor was like, "Hey, we love your stuff. Like, could you write another story?" And we have this guy, who like has this really cool car, and so yeah, Eric was pretty excited. There are a couple other people that I'm, so there are a couple of different, sort of modified Porsches. They're not all original, but his was one of them, and I got to work with the amazing Lisa Link. She's the fabulous photographer.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, she does amazing.
Lisa Link?
Yeah.
Cool.
She does amazing work, and
That's a great name. That's a great name.
got to shoot with so we went up to Angeles Crest, and it was actually the day
Where's
before.
that?
Don't know. It was this place, like it's kind of up in the hills somewhere.
Ooh,
it's
I
like
think
curvy,
I'd like it.
twisty things. You'd love it.
Sounds good.
You'd love it.
Saying all the right things.
I'll take you there one day.
Please do.
We just met him up there and got to drive this Porsche. It's a 71 911 S.
Is it an S? I couldn't remember.
It's an S.
Okay.
He's kind of tuned it out, so it's a little bit faster than your average bear.
I know he helped Sierra Madre develop the exhaust that's in there, so I think that he's kind of always trying new parts on it.
His is the test mule for the exhaust system.
For the RS exhaust.
That they put on it. So it makes it makes a fabulous noise. It's really fantastic. It has like I think it has like Y pipes on it that kind of feed into the exhaust, and it's so you can shut it down if you want to. It used to be a race car, so it was originally built to be a race car. And when he got a hold of it, he told this great story, and I'm sure everybody so many people have a story like this where, it's my neighbor who had it, and I kept asking him, like, hey, if you ever want to sell it, come to me first.
Yeah.
If you ever want to sell it, come to me first. He's like, and then one day a buddy of mine called me and said, hey, I know this guy who's like selling this car, blah, blah, blah. And it was the guy, and he's like,
Son of a bitch
goes
should
back
have
to me
called
like,
me.
why the hell
Yeah.
didn't you call me? I've been telling you to call
Son
me
of a
for a
bitch.
decade. But he did. He was able to buy it, and so the amazing thing about this car, and this is what I loved about it, is this guy he modded it out. Took out the original seats and took out the original like carpets and everything else. Took off the bumpers. Took off the back. He had kind of I rocked it out and just kind of had the back, like the engine cover was off and everything. But he got all of those. The guy kept all that stuff.
Oh, all the original parts.
All the original parts.
Whoa.
And so when Eric got a hold of it, he sort of reassembled
So
it.
he got the car and the parts.
He got the car and the parts that had been just sitting pristinely for 25 years.
So he put it back together, right?
So he put it all back together.
Fuck, that's amazing.
Phenomenal.
What a great story.
Because basically you have like this new car, like these seats that have never been used, the carpets,
and
the
they're all
interiors
correct to the car. They're
all
original from the car.
They're all original from
unheard
the car.
of.
I know, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
But what a wonderful story.
Usually that
and
shit ends up at a flea market or in
yeah,
other cars or
and
whatever.
you just are you're like, I need this, so I'm just swapping out this and
Oh
those
yeah,
bits.
steal from this to get the other thing.
Yes, but man, it's a fun driver. Great shifter. So he's sort of put a different shifter in there. So it's like it's either rebuilt. I can't have to look at my notes, but it's either rebuilt or it's like complete, like it's a new.
Like
I think
a
it's
Weevo or something
Yeah,
else.
it's a sport shifter, so it's not as long. The shifts are not as long.
Wow.
But man, so smooth. I mean, it's basically like you're driving kind of a modern car. Not a super heavy clutch, like really nice release point. So super smooth on the pedals, and got a lot of negative camber. So you're definitely like, I mean, it's a very
corner.
It is a talkative little thing. I mean, it's so fun to drive, but like kind of skittish and kind of darty and exactly what you want in a car like that, but fast and a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. And beautiful. I mean, it looks beautiful.
so good
The
looking.
guy's he's a graphic designer. So all of that, all the graphics, like go check out his Instagram page, like
EW Design. I think.
EW_design, I think. But he did all of those graphics.
Yeah.
So he's got great taste. The car looks amazing.
He's got impeccable
He
taste.
really
He as
does
a person
have great
has
taste.
excellent
I know,
taste.
like, it's
his
like
mid-century stuff at home and just
I didn't see that, but
his general aesthetic is like really good.
Yeah, those designer guys, they look good. They don't wear baked
see.
potatoes on their feet.
I think those are great. We love you. Do you know that we genuinely love you?
I genuinely love you guys, like 100%. Even though I have bad taste in shoes.
We have no
But I
issues
could
with
wear
any of that. I think
slippers
you look lovely.
for the rest of
I
my
told you were
life.
glowing before, or whatever. I said you had a halo.
Thank you.
I called you an angel before. Didn't you hear me?
That's so nice. The feelings is all mutual.
What else?
Let's see
You
what else
usually
is
come
going
loaded
on.
and with things to talk about, so I don't want to monopolize the whole thing.
There's always so much to talk about. There is something that is pending very soon. I cannot talk about details.
Oh.
However, what I can tease it a little bit. But perhaps the Team Wild Grace, which is the rally team that I'm the driver for. So Sedona Blinson is my teammate.
Yes.
And we have competed in the Rebel. We drive, Nissan sponsors our team.
Have you done it 3 years?
This is 4 years for me, 6 years for her.
Okay.
Very close to announcing a little something else that we're going to be doing.
All right. You're being very careful with your language.
In a far-off land. Yeah. So it's another event that...
that's a great time to bring up this comment. It says, hi from Australia, 1962 Cobra. Is that the far-off land?
No.
Okie doke.
but I'd love to go to Australia at some point. I mean, it
Just
looks
checking.
amazing.
Is it on the other
No.
side of the world?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Good
on
for
the
you.
other side of the world,
Oh, I
and
can't wait.
and I think it's going to be a really an interesting event. Certainly, there's a bit of historicalness happening with it, which should be pretty cool.
Is this
And
a first-time event?
it is a first-time event.
Oh, so
Yeah.
stop guessing, everybody.
Stop
guessing at
guessing.
home.
You don't
You
know.
don't need to guess.
Yeah,
You
Dakar's
won't get it right.
and Dakar's over. So
I
it's-
was gonna. That's
it
why I
ain't
was asking.
that.
That's why I was asking.
No.
What letter does it begin with?
It's in January. This one is much sooner. So, but definitely stay tuned because there's an announcement probably coming either end of this week or beginning of next, and we'll be really excited to share that with everybody.
What's the best way to stay tuned for an announcement from you? Is it your Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram always. That's really I'm not on anything else, so you
Oh,
could
well,
try on
there
Twitter,
you
but
go.
you won't. It won't be me. I don't know. It'll be some other lady. There actually was a lady on Twitter who stole all my stuff.
Oh,
and,
really?
Yeah, yeah.
I've got one of those on Instagram right now that I'm trying to
Right?
get taken down.
And
yeah.
and her name is Lynn Woodward. Legitimately, and I think she's from South Africa or something, and she's like
And
into
she likes your life
she's
more than
into-
hers? It's like that
she's
Monica
into
Friends
wine.
episode.
She does wine reviews, I think. And so at one point,
Oh.
I think, or maybe someone,
Maybe she likes the crossover.
drink and then drive,
Well,
or
I
drive.
wasn't implying that, but
or
just
drive
in
to
general,
where you go.
the
and,
audience.
wine and cars. I mean, it's a high society type
Sure,
of thing
sure, yeah.
together.
But I think at some point there was sort of an appropriation of stuff that I'd written on and I whatever, it's fine. But I'm not on Twitter. I'm only on Instagram. That's the best way to reach
Facebook?
out.
No Facebook.
I do Facebook, but
I do Facebook.
I'm only friends with people on Facebook who I've seen, who I know
real
in
people,
person.
real people. Yeah, that's
People
fine.
I'd go have lunch
You have
with.
a personal Facebook
yeah,
page.
so people I've worked with, or people I went to school with, or people I've
And as you heard, the cutoff is if she would have lunch with you.
If I would have lunch
if she
with
won't
you.
have lunch with you, she will not accept
So
you.
if I have not been your friend, that means no lunch, people. So Instagram, and it's LYN and then 2 underscores.
Got it right this time.
Because apparently there's another Lynn Woodward out there who
and one
has
underscore.
1 N and 1 underscore. There's 2 of them.
It's 1 N,
I've
2
reached
underscores.
out. I've tried to snag the just Lynn Woodward.
Is it not the wine lady? It's someone else?
Someone else or
Oh,
someone
what
who
the hell?
forgot they had it, and it's not an active account. I'm just like, oh, you're kidding me.
I'm
right?
trying to get. There's a J Ryan 111 I'd like to get. Because I'd like that to be our main thing. Someone who doesn't use it, they parked it. No friends, no followers, no posts.
That's
nothing.
Lynn Woodward. Maybe they're in cahoots.
Gosh darn it! I bet they are.
I bet they are. They're like,
Gosh darn it. They're waiting for us to
if
write
the
like
price
$10,000
is
checks.
right, ha ha ha. Yeah, whatever.
You
2
can have it.
underscores it is.
Keep it. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So that's really the best place to follow me. And I usually post there. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't know, cat videos. That's better.
I like a cat video.
I've started. So our mutual friend Johnny Lieberman
I love Johnny Lieberman.
is so pro at his Instagram, right? Like
he's pro media marketing guy.
he's so
he really
good
is
at
about
all of
that.
it. And so at one point I tried to take a page. I just took a page out of his, because he's just like, he's on it. He's like, I'm going to talk about this and this and this. And at one
But he
point
engages with the people too. Like
he
it's
really does.
amazing how much energy he devotes to
he
it.
really, really does. But that's he has results too. Like he has he's
at
he's
almost at
macro,
100,000
right?
followers when he was at 16 when he first visited the show.
He's a big deal.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
I didn't realize, but now that you have declared
We're just
it,
fortunate
I'm starting to
be
get the
in
weight
his
of it.
in his orbit, right? We're just lucky. So I was like, how do you get it where you you can put your someone else's post on the stories? I don't know this stuff. I don't try. And he's like, you do the little thing that's the paper airplane, and you click on that, and then it just populates in your stories. And I was like, oh, that's it. And now
learned that
that's
one,
all
too.
I do. And I'm like, oh, mid-century modern house and flowers and pretty place.
You
and
live in the stories, me too.
I live in the
Yeah.
stories now. And so unless it's really kind of exciting or I
Permanent.
feel like permanent, yeah, then it'll go on the posts. But I don't know. People are probably like, why do I give a shit about this fucking house? I don't care. But I like the house, people, so that's why. I like me a mid-century modern house in Palm
yeah.
Springs with a T-bird out in front of it. Get
Yeah.
over it. So that's where you can find me. I'm trying to think of what else is coming up. I'm going to be driving the Hummer EV, which really excited about. Like that's so that press launch was supposed to happen in January, but of course, thank you, Omicron.
Omicron.
I don't know. Eurocron, Omicron.
We're all crons.
So that's happening in March. There's some sort of surprise Toyota thing at Formula Drift, which I'm kind of excited to see what that is. I don't know. They don't tell us. They just say show up here, and there's a thing, which is fun. And
is it in town here?
Yeah, it's during the Long Beach. So the Formula Drift is happening at someone FedEx.
Probably
Landshark.
Some knocking backstage.
Not like, yeah, that's right. Someone's
hammering.
Someone's working on the green room right back there. So yeah, it's happening at the. Oh yeah, it will be the Grand Prix, and Formula Drift is happening like at the same time.
I'm screwed. Yes, it does happen at the same time, but I'm screwed up because they just did the Long Beach Grand Prix because they did it in September.
Oh, that's
it's
right.
normally once a year in April, but because of the delay and whatever, somebody else just explained this to me, and I was like, that is such a feat. It takes 50 days, 50 days to set up the fucking race.
The race, that course. Yeah, it's crazy.
So like the fact that they put it up in September, took it down in September, putting it back up now is crazy to me.
Yeah.
But they've been doing it.
I went to I did for college. I went to Long Beach State,
Oh.
and there was one spring break where I thought, oh, you know what? I'm not going to go do anything. I'm going to get a job at the Long Beach Grand Prix. Oh my God. Boy, that was like
labor, right?
It was the longest week. I was selling T-shirts at a merch cart. I mean,
that's not bad.
I was not exactly like doing something cool in the pits.
You weren't setting up the fences and stuff.
No. But I didn't see 1 second of
What
the.
did you think? How old were you?
College? I would have been 19, 20.
College girl. A college LYN Woodward
20?
goes down to volunteer at the Rays. What did you think they were going to have you do?
I don't know.
They
I
wanted
thought I'd
you
be able
right
to
out
see some
front
racing
with the fans
crap.
and the beer and like, look at this pretty girl buy a T-shirt.
Race? I wanted to see some racing, people.
Well, of course, but
no.
You're too pretty.
All I did is like blow out my eardrums for nothing.
Too pretty. Like they're not going to put you there.
Sold 5 T-shirts, and I was like, "This sucks.
In a week?
I don't know. I can't
Wow.
remember.
That's
I had
awesome.
so many crazy jobs as a young person, like just so many stupid jobs.
Jobs.
Did
heard
I
it.
just say jobs?
I heard it.
Oh, it's my
That's
Rosie
from my neck of the
O'Donnell,
woods.
New York coming out. I was born there, by the way.
In New York?
Oh yeah,
I think I forgot that.
Yeah.
If you told me.
Beth Israel Hospital.
Genuinely in New York.
Genuinely in the city. Yeah.
Well, what happened? Did your parents just used to live there, or were you just on vacation and
Yeah,
you were early? Or?
No. We talked about this. My parents danced on Broadway dancers.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So we was all New York. But it wasn't long before we moved to LA. I think I moved to LA when I was like 3 years old. So
No, I forgot about the showbiz
Yeah.
element of your family.
at the time, New York was not a place to raise children.
42nd Street was
Oh.
pre-Disney.
Yeah.
Not the city.
That was like
Sex and
No way.
smut.
yeah.
Smut and drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs and smut.
It was
A lot of smut.
It was peak Hell's Kitchen moment. Not good.
What was it?
Peak Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, Peak Hell's
Peak
Kitchen.
Hell's
yeah.
Kitchen.
Before it was a trendy hip place to be. It was
yeah.
Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah. And then it was like Cockroach Central.
This
so,
would have been Ed Koch days, probably. Maybe David
Yes.
Dinkins.
Yes.
Yeah. It wasn't until Giuliani that it started to
It got
clean up.
gentrified,
Irony.
cleaned it up. Yeah. So that. How did we get start talking?
Because I wanted to know the New York connection, that you were actually from there and that
yes.
your parents, I forgot about your parents being
yes,
on Broadway
yes.
and stuff.
Yeah. That was the connection.
The
but
showbiz family.
really kind of, I mean, obviously grew up here for the rest of it, most of it.
How old were you when you moved here?
3.
Oh, yeah, you might probably remember it a
No
little
one
bit.
could
or
call
no?
me a native New Yorker. I mean, I was born there,
Except
but
when you make that, that's the right from there. That's straight from
I heard it.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
our people. I bought everything.
Yeah, you did.
No matter
oh
what,
my
it's bought.
God.
Bought. I don't know why.
Did you guys got married?
That's so good.
I love that.
Do you act now? Do you do any acting now? Would you,
No.
if called upon?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it's got to still be.
Only because I just, at this point, I don't care.
I'm thinking
Like,
that
I
would be
don't
very freeing
care.
for you as an actor.
And having this job, so I I'm almost. It'll almost be like I guess.
Almost.
I didn't mean to say that, by the way. I
Making
don't know
fun of
where
me
that
now.
came out, but I think end of March it'll be 4 years that I've been at Kelley Blue Book. And when I first
Wow.
got the job, I thought to myself, I'm gonna be here for a year.
Temp
And
City.
That's it. Like
Yeah.
I'm just gonna see a year is fine. That's
How many
plenty.
reviews can one person do?
Man, I love what I do.
They keep coming out with new cars
They keep coming up with new cars.
every year.
It's amazing.
And they're always different.
It's amazing.
There's something
There's
new.
always something to talk about. It's crazy.
But that's your talent, is finding what's interesting to talk about. There is always something to talk about, but not all of
There's
it's
something
interesting.
good in every car. I mean, listen,
Of
the
course.
playing field is so level at this point when you're talking about just regular consumer cars. And so to me,
You can't say, don't buy that one because it's bad. Everything's good.
there's one car that I would say that about.
What is it?
The Ford EcoSport.
Oh, you don't like the Evo.
EcoSport. Okay.
Excuse me?
Brain
I
twister.
didn't know that.
Brain twister. Their engine is called the EcoSport.
Oh,
But
it's one of
the,
these.
But the model name of the subcompact, whatever it is the EcoSport. Don't ask. Don't ask. I don't know.
I found out about a friend just bought a Chevy Bolt,
Yes.
full electric.
Yeah.
The Volt
No.
was a hybrid.
Hybrid. Right?
I
That to
mean,
me is like
I
the
almost
Jag-
halted Breakfast Club and told everybody to go home when I heard that
But
shit.
that
I was
to
like,
me is
that
like-
doesn't make sense. Marketing fired.
Jag E-Pace versus I-Pace.
Same thing. Identical situation.
Electric. Not I-electric. What?
That's hilarious.
Oy.
The,
My video
the
on
inmates
that.
are running the asylum.
My video on that was like, all right, with the alphabet soup here, people. Come on. Yeah, that was
It's too
crazy.
much.
See,
You know,
but
I
there's
thought the
always
world was
something
ending
to
when
talk about.
BMW separated the 2 doors and the 4 doors by the even numbers and the odd numbers. I was like, what is this? They're becoming Audi. And the rest of the world just followed suit. Everything for everybody. What do you want? We'll make it.
Yeah, but BMW is going to have to start employing decimals because they're just like more stuff. Like
run out of
another,
numbers, I know.
Like, oh, here's another one that has like 5 millimeters more of wheelbase. Oh, we got to call it something that's new.
We are
No,
simply
it's
getting
not.
to a place where, like, I want the front of the Z and the back of the X6, and then, but I want headroom from
Yeah.
the fuck. You know,
No.
if you can design it on our little make your model thing on our
That's
website,
right,
we'll
like-
go.
it's like the
we'll go make
Barbie-
it for you in our
The
factory.
fashion plates where it's like this top and those
That's
bottoms.
it. We'll 3D print the whole thing for you.
Easy peasy.
Spartanburg, Virginia, come pick it up.
That's right.
Or North Carolina, come pick it up.
That's the X3.5 for you.
The X3.7 if
Yes.
you want the upgraded mileage.
That's right. So yeah, it is a little strange.
They used to the numbers used to designate the literage, the size of the engine
Yeah.
in the old days.
Yeah.
It was like a 325 was a 3 series with a 2.5 liter engine. 318 was a
Stop
1.8.
trying to make it make sense anymore.
It's over.
It's over.
I'm just gonna blow my own brains out because
Done.
this world doesn't want me anyway.
It's done. There's no sense.
Trying to make sense of it.
Stop it. Stop it. Mazda
like-
has like 10 different versions of the same car.
I'm like the guy from Up. Remember the old man from Up?
Oh.
But we're living in Wall-E.
Oh, I see a hybrid movie.
Well, hence the crossover. Since we're living in,
Disney pitch.
Ready Player One now, whatever, everything is everything.
Disney pitch.
I'm just
I
saying,
love
that's kind of
that.
how I feel. I'm old man Gunderson, but like we're living in Wall-E.
Yeah. And we're just on our little chaises drinking our little
Oh,
our
red.
little
Ooh,
shakes.
blue. The new red.
That's right. And we have no musculature left. We have our skeletons have all shrunk. We don't need
Just
to
reach
go
their
anywhere
arm
or
up.
do anything.
Sipping
Amazon will just bring it to your house.
our lunch out of a straw.
That's right.
Everything was sippy meals.
Exactly. You can't walk anywhere. It's all good. It's like no problem.
I guess I know what we're watching tonight. Do you watch a lot of stuff? We watch.
I try to, yeah. I just watched this show. This has nothing to do with cars, but
Good.
I just watched
That's
that
why I was
show, Inventing Anna.
Okay, it's on the queue. Oh, maybe not.
Did
I'll
you
check.
like
No,
it?
you should
like
watch
it?
it.
Okay.
You should watch it. I am of the opinion, though, that all of those limited series, they could cut 2 episodes. Like,
Most of
they
them.
could have edited it down.
If it's 8, it could be 6.
Yeah. Loved, what was the Gambit?
Didn't watch that one yet.
Queen one.
The chess one.
Yeah.
Are you into Ozark? Did you watch Ozark?
You know, I watched the first season of it, and
Oh,
then
and
as
if you're
the
not into
first
it, you're not
season
gonna
ended, and
continue.
I was like, I don't know if I could do this to myself for another season.
Oh,
and
you
now
didn't like
there's
it.
like 4. It's just, there's so many things
No
that are just
judgment,
like
I'm just
super edgy, like super murdery, and like just there's nothing or not very much redeemable about the characters, and so I've kind of moved away. Like after Game of Thrones, I'm just like I'm kind of done with that.
We never did that one. The
Don't-
big one, Game of Thrones.
don't do it to yourself.
Deadliest. No, Walking Dead.
Oh, I
and
never did that.
And the what's the and the vampire.
No,
one? Blood.
no vampires or
True Blood.
pirates.
We didn't do any of
pirates. Pirates.
No
Apocalypse. No vampires or zombies.
Yeah, no, it's The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
We're out of that.
No, I don't do that.
But I am ironically into pirates.
Pirates. If there was a pirate one,
I
I
Deadliest
might
Catch.
be
They're pirating all those crabs, aren't they?
Shit. No, but like I've heard, Succession is amazing.
There's a lot of shows that are good.
But there's just a lot of really horrible, irredeemable human beings in those, and I just like, why do I want to watch that?
I don't disagree with you on anything you're saying, but I do enjoy that Ozark. What about? Do you watch the cable shows? Some of these limited runs are kind of fun, like that White Lotus. I enjoyed that one a lot.
I tried that because I'm a massive, massive Jennifer Coolidge fan. Anything
Stay
that
with
lady,
it because she gets
really-
heavier later. She gets heavier later. She's not in it much in the beginning, but she gets in it more later.
She is certifiable, and I love her.
We just watched for the first time in like years Best in Show the other day. So good.
Oh my
So
gosh,
good.
So good. Like so goddamn incredibly good.
So she is. They need to bottle her up and sell her. She's
So
amazing. She's fantastic.
She's like, I'm waiting for another message from myself, and then I'm just gonna stay here until I get another message from myself.
She's so weird. She's fantastic.
It's the best.
I may have written a part in the movie that I just turned in for her.
Excellent.
That's great.
Fingers crossed. But I did.
She doesn't
so
say no to much, if you notice.
I hope she doesn't. If you're
I
listening
mean, like if you
out
write
there,
her and it's a
where's
good
the
part, I think you'll get her. It's
Which camera?
wherever the red light is.
If you're listening,
Somewhere
Jennifer,
where the red light is.
it's for you. I wrote it with you in mind. So I've been watching a lot of another movie that I watched was The Tinder Swindler.
Yeah, that's on the queue also.
I mean,
The
Tinder Swindler.
Swindler.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not Twitter?
No, he's
All right.
on Tinder.
But yes.
He's trolling for ladies.
Tinder's the dating one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's
It's-
a different movie than I thought it
It
was.
is so shocking to me how, and it's like sort of in the same vein as Catch Me If You Can, or like, it is so shocking to me, sort of the brass, you know what's that some people have as far as like what they feel like they can do and get away with.
It's pretty remarkable.
It's insane. Like they're sociopaths, right? I mean, these people are crazy because
But
they
they
don't
are, right?
care.
Isn't that what it's all about?
Totally,
Sociopathic
yeah.
behavior of these people?
No conscience, don't care about anybody else. It's
No empathy,
no
right?
Cut off
empathy.
from emotion.
completely.
So no empathy
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that.
completely.
No emotion at all. And so
Right.
you
But they're
can
not driven by
operate.
emotion?
No, they're driven out of narcissistic want,
Holy
Desire.
crow.
Desire.
and it's
So they just feed their own...
Yeah.
it's all them all the time. Whatever they want, but there's nothing can get in the way of what they want. They'll find a way to get it.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of artists I know.
When things don't
It's a
go
fine
their
line.
way,
It's a really fun line.
yeah. And then when things don't go their
They
way,
get mean.
they lash out. Like they lash out at the people, and they pick their victims so well and so carefully.
Oh, it's all orchestrated.
Oh, it's so manipulative, and it's so.
Do they know
yeah.
they're doing it?
No, not always.
No, I think they just feel like
It's their way of controlling the
I can't wait
situation.
until you guys watch Inventing Anna, because this person is like, she's a fascinating person, but I'm also curious to hear what other people think of how Netflix decided to portray it. So it's a Shonda Rhimes
Right.
production. And there are things about it that I just was like, that was an interesting choice as far as how it was written and what the takeaway is that they want you to have. So yeah, I mean,
Does
Wow.
it feel like a Shonda thing? She did great.
No.
It's like, does it feel
No, it
as
doesn't-
hokey as that is?
no, it's
Okay.
not as soapy. It's not
Good.
like no, it's not like that.
Because the story's not. The story's good, and it could be really good, fascinating.
And it really does. I mean, the one thing I do really appreciate it is it really kind of makes you think, and it makes you examine all the players involved, her, but also the people who sort of gravitated around her. Why? What their motives were for being close to her.
Is that one a true story?
It's so interesting because at
that's
the
huge.
beginning of every episode it says, this story is entirely true except for all of the parts that are completely false.
Wait, which one are we talking
So-
about right now?
Anna. The
Okay, it is that
the
one.
Anna
So that's
Delvey
then I
story.
misunderstood that one. Okay. I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And then the Tinder Swindler.
They're
They're
both
both docu-series. So Tinder Swindler is a movie. That is a documentary
That's
movie.
what I was confused about. One's a movie.
It's
and
a
one's
documentary movie with the real players, with the real people.
Got it.
It is a straight up real thing. Whereas Inventing Anna is a docu-series, but it's dramatized.
Do you like documentaries in general? I love them. Yeah, I do too.
Love,
well, I
love
shouldn't say
them.
that. I like good ones, and it's like
I
a
like
good one and
good
a bad
ones.
one are. It's like a fucking bad clam.
Yeah.
Like a bad oyster.
No,
you know what I mean? Like
don't.
you'll be off it for like, oh, I'm not watching another documentary for 6 months because this one sucked.
Have you watched the documentary about the Bee Gees?
No, but that's on the queue too.
Oh, it's so good. I've watched it 3 times. I loved it.
I just watched the Boeing one yesterday, and that was
Oh,
rough.
I saw it. Was it really bad?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's awful. It's fucking awful. I mean, because it's.
I
there's
thought about
like,
that, and I was like,
there's like a lot of information I didn't have
Yeah.
till this thing, and
Need
it
to be
all
in a
seems to
happy
be pretty
mood.
legit.
So,
It's not like a downer. It's not,
Okay.
but it's like a wow, holy crap.
Yeah.
I mean, this was so insanely avoidable. This was a numbers thing. It was like like a car recall. It's like, oh, they knew about it, but you could have up to 15 planes crash per year, and then it would still be justifiable.
not reassuring.
That's
All
right.
recalls are based on finances, like how much.
Risk management and how much it.
Yeah, how
movie
much
Fight
will
Club
it
talks about
cost?
it. Whether or not they put out a campaign is based on all these X factors of divided by whatever. And,
No bueno.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's really awful.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's another one about an art forger called Made You Look.
Ooh,
Very good.
interesting.
I love.
I like a little whodunit, a little caper.
Someone said this to me the other day, and I can't remember who it was, but they're like, I love watching like rich people get their comeuppance, like when they are made to look like idiots.
That's hilarious.
Made You Look is a little bit like that, like the people who are like, oh, this is an amazing unknown Jackson Pollock, and then you cut to them like in an interview, and you're like, there was always something about it that was a little bit off to me.
A lot of that shit happens with religion. There's a documentary on Netflix about some old religious documents, and they found out we're all forged.
They
It's
were
like,
fake.
did you not see that coming?
Yeah.
It's happened a lot.
Nothing in this world is black and white.
They want to believe it so much, or they want to be like kind of on the cutting edge, or the big.
Yes,
like,
but
I
then
found it. Yeah.
Attach
Make
name
that
to
your
it.
word and make that your thing that you talk about. Like,
Yeah.
you're crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of kooky. But there's a lot. Apparently, there's a lot I'm watching about like swindling con artists these days. No, I'm not getting any ideas. I would be terrible at it.
You'd probably laugh through the whole thing.
I would either laugh through the whole. I would feel
You're
so
just
bad.
such a, like a you're like a kind of a happy-go-lucky. I don't know if you really are, but you portray
Yeah.
this kind of a bubbly,
No, I'm a happy
person.
person.
Yeah,
I'm a happy person.
Kelly Ripa, little Kelly Ripa in there.
Oh, she's so tiny. She's so little. Yeah, I
Don't
also
you- I mean, wouldn't
like.
you agree with that?
I'd be afraid of getting caught, you guys, and be like,
Of
I'm
what?
so.
Caught doing
if
what?
you were swindling or conning people, like,
Oh, you would
I'd
be afraid of
so
getting
afraid
caught.
of getting caught. I don't know how these people are just like, I'll never ever be caught. I
The
think,
Bernie Madoffs of the world, you mean?
yeah, I think
they'll
because
never be-
they're,
tomorrow will
like,
never come?
They're so emboldened, or they've been doing it for so long
It's
that they just
legit
don't.
sociopathy. Like
That they just don't even-
Oh, we're
don't
back to-
know.
yeah.
That's
They don't know that what they're doing is just not.
They
okay,
don't care.
Not right. They don't
So
care.
they're not looking at it
Yeah.
for that purpose.
Yeah.
from my experience. Most criminals, most people that the majority of people would call bad people.
Yeah.
Most of those people don't actually realize or think they're bad
They're
people.
doing something wrong.
Yeah, I think of everything, whether it's the boyfriend who hit the girl or whatever the
Yeah.
heck. There's always like a justification or a reason or whatever the heck. So nobody ever actually thinks they're the bad person. So I would imagine this sociopathy. Is that right? Is that what you
Yeah.
said? I would imagine it's actually like insanely more common than people give it credit for.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And it's funny, before I came and sat down here, I heard you guys talking about your 2 friends who actually sat down. One came to the other one and apologized.
Oh yeah, it's just a
which
cool adult moment.
I do that often if I screw up, but I feel like, as you know, kind of over the years, like I've seen it happen less and less and less. And
Yeah.
instead people are just getting so defensive. And
They double down.
They double down.
I'm watching that.
And it's just like, whoa, man, no, you're just digging yourself in deeper. And by the way, we're not supposed to be perfect. We
Right.
are never going to be perfect. You are going to mess up and make mistakes. And it's totally okay to be able to say, oh, man, you know what? I screwed that one up. I'm so sorry.
That's so great.
And then it's even better for the other person to say, thank you. It's cool. We're
All good.
We're
Yeah,
good.
Like literally over.
Walk away.
over.
Like, let's,
It's
bygones.
like a gift
Yep.
for
Let's
both
get
of
coffee.
you.
Yeah.
It's really,
Yeah.
it's
so
a nice moment to have.
it's a wonderful moment because it kind of frees you of that, like, that whatever's eating you up inside, because it does, whether you realize it or not, it totally does. So yeah, I appreciate those moments of those like sort of candid honesty and just like, oh, I'm not perfect. Here it is. I'm sorry. I was in a poopy mood, or I didn't mean to say that, or I did not, my intention was not to make you feel bad, but I did, and I'm sorry.
Vulnerability can open bank vaults.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy what you can crack with your own vulnerability.
Yeah. And not just paying lip service to it, right? I mean, genuinely meaning it.
I mean, like exposing, somehow showing
Yeah.
your belly to somebody who's like
Yeah.
got the knife out or the gun out or whatever, and it's like,
Yeah.
can we just do this? Usually, yeah.
I think it shocks a lot of people now. If you go up to them and you say, "You know what? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that." And they're just like, "What?"
It's a power move. Sorry if you don't agree. It's a power move to be able to fucking say, I'm sorry, I was wrong.
Yes.
It is like wicked executive level power move.
Yes.
Because most people can't do it. Their ego is fighting the wrong shit.
Right. Or they think it's the opposite. They think it's a sign of weakness.
Right. Of
Wrong.
course. It's a paradoxical effect.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Good for you.
we all get to those, try and get to those places. This takes a long time.
Good vibes.
Good vibes. Oh my gosh, full circle.
Will we see you up at Good Vibes again soon, hopefully?
Yes, hopefully. It's so funny because every Friday when I think, I have to shoot that day.
Yeah.
Or
Can you shoot
I
up there?
have a deadline.
That's what Matt does. He and
I'm not as cool as Farrah.
all right.
Or Zach.
He and Zach will often come up and shoot on the way or whatever.
Yeah, I have my my super cool, awesome coworker Mike Danger now, who helps me with stuff, and
Mike Danger.
you guys would love Mike Danger. So
I love his name.
That's his name. Don't wear it out.
Is a photographer, or he's your
He's
counterpart?
So okay, this is a great story, and this is an inspiring story for anybody watching who has a goal, who thinks I'm never ever going to be able to do that. So this guy, again, mid-pandemic, about a year ago, trying to be a photographer. He was an actor for a while. Trying to be a photographer, was bartending. Pandemic happened. Done with that job, was over. So just would reach out, like watching YouTube, looking at people that he respected, and looking at photography, and trying to start his own kind of YouTube thing. And reached out to my boss, who also has a YouTube channel, and he loves cars. And
Who's
he
your
was
boss that has a YouTube channel?
Micah Musio.
Why do I know that? Should I know that?
Oh, he's so great. Another great
You've
person.
introduced us to some wonderful people, so
yeah.
add that one to the list.
Micah, you would love Micah. He has a helicopter. He'd shop us
I know how
around.
to fly one.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys would be fast friends.
I don't have one though.
That's all right. Neither do I.
But if
Can't
he
afford
drinks,
it.
he can get drunk, and I'll fly home, no problem.
Perfect. Sounds like you guys are going to be really good buddies. But yeah, I mean, I think at one point, like, how everyone grew like the pandemic beard.
Oh yeah, we just stopped caring, right? It was like pajamas
everyone
on your
let
face.
themselves go.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Pajamas for your face. That's awesome. So Micah had a beard, and I think in one of his videos, he asked the question, in the comments, like, hey, do you like my beard or not? Like, write it in the comments.
Oh,
like,
yeah, okay.
Because, that's what
Am I hot or not?
I guess that's what you do.
Swipe this way, swipe that
And
way.
so Danger was like, yeah, man, because he had done the same thing. And he's like, yeah, the beard, the pandemic beard is rad. Like, keep it. And for whatever reason, because Mike actually engages with the comments, he's a good steward of his YouTube channel. He just like went to go say, oh, who's this Mike Danger guy? Like, this seems kind of crazy. And yes, Mike Danger is his handle on Instagram and on YouTube. And so he looked at some of his. He mostly did like headshots, like headshot photography.
Mm-hmm.
But always like beautiful, like use of lighting, and I loved because I saw his stuff too.
He's
always,
better
like,
than headshots.
Great composition. You knew he was better than headshots. And so at one point,
I'm not going to be working at the mall forever.
no, glamour shots.
Glamour,
is
remember
not
that?
Like, yes.
That's my childhood for sure. Yes, that was it. That was
That
it
was
right
the
there. Make
pose.
sure you
Right?
for sure.
I had
Yep.
4 of those.
Yep.
It was
You
awful.
did?
Oh yeah, you had to take 4.
You're graduating from high school and
Oh,
you're
those
going to
were
be in a movie.
amazing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everyone had floral dresses. It was awful.
So bad.
Do you want the ocean or the bookcase?
Right? Depends. How about a tree?
Ooh, I like the tree. Anyway,
Oh,
go ahead.
So at one point, Micah was like, "Hey, do you want to come and like I'm looking for someone to help me shoot in the helicopter one day, like do some shots."
geez.
And he invited Mike Danger to go with him, and of course, Danger's like, "Oh my gosh, like this is amazing!" Like he loved Micah's stuff and loved his work and kind of idolized him and was just like, "This is the best thing that's ever happened to me." And they
Huge opportunity.
huge opportunity. And he came and he showed up. And this guy has showed up ever since. He showed up that day. He did beautiful work with Micah, as Micah was, he did some great shooting. He did some stuff. And probably like a couple of weeks later, Micah was just like, "Hey, would you ever be interested in shooting cars?" And he hadn't had any experience, but Micah knew and could tell like the passion that this guy had for what he was doing and the drive.
His technique and stuff,
His
because it's
technique.
not just about the face, it's what he's doing to get that image.
Exactly. And the drive that he had and the work ethic that he had. And he was like, this guy is like our people. He's part of a kind of person that you would want on your team. And
Let's invest in him.
yeah. And so, and by the way, like I really truly think that if you are a magazine or anything that you are trying to bring diversity onto your team, that is the way that you have to do it, because there are not many like sort of people of color who are like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I want to be an automotive photographer," or "I even know what that is," I didn't even know that you could write about cars before.
We don't know him, so didn't know he was of color.
Yeah.
It's all being
He's-
revealed now in real time.
He showed up, and man, oh my gosh, he is the hardest working person I've ever worked with. He came in, he learned stuff lightning fast, and
If he's enjoying his environment, I'm sure he's
loving
sponging
what
it up.
he's doing.
Yes.
He started editing I remember his first video. I think it was I want to say it was the Mach E, the Mustang Mach E.
Your favorite.
And it was a Micah video, and Micah was like sort of showing him the ropes. And when he put out the first rough cut of his work, I looked at the rough cut and I just talked to Micah and I was like, "How many rounds of notes did you give him before we saw this?" And he's like, "This is the first.
His first
This is
pass?
the first cut."
So that was his first pass, and you were like,
And I
throw it
was
up on the
like-
web.
I was like, "I have no changes to this. This is insane." So he just knew he just fit into our team like super effortlessly, and he's so good. He's in front of the camera and he's starting to host his own videos.
Excellent.
And I remember when he like sent me his first review, and I was just like, "I have a couple of notes for you, and that is all, my friend." And it's just so it's incredible to me. Like you can take a situation and it doesn't, again, you never expected it. I asked him that the other day. I was like, "Would you ever in a million years have guessed that you'd be doing what you're doing now?" And he was like, "Nope, not
that's
even
so
close,
great.
not even close."
How
But
old is he? About?
37.
Oh,
about.
okay. So he was doing something else. So he was doing something else before.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, he was doing other stuff. Like I said, he wanted to be an actor for a while, and then he was really starting to get into photography.
That's awesome.
And holy moly.
Mike Danger. He's
Mike
the guy to
Danger.
watch. Follow Mike Danger.
Yes, Mike Danger. Go follow him. You will be, His amazing positive attitude is so infectious, and he is just a can-do person. And he's just the kind of guy you want in the foxhole, right? I mean, that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Mike Danger took us way late, so we've got to wrap it up.
Shoot, okay.
No, but I mean, is there
Worthy-
anything that you want to, like, is there anything, we talked about stuff coming up. We got
No,
the Rebel Rally again.
Yeah, I don't know if the Rebel is going to happen again.
Oh, we're hoping.
So we'll see.
We're hoping.
That's
that
October.
would be your fourth one. Oh, that's
That'll
a while
be my
away.
fifth one.
But
It's a long
you've
ways
done
in.
it 4.
Yeah.
And this will be 5. Oh,
It would be 5 this year, but there's something coming up before that I can't talk about.
But and then you'll
That's
come back
the
and tell us when you can announce it.
Exactly.
Beautiful. that's something to look forward to.
Yes.
Lynn Woodward on the Instagram, and it's 1N, 2 underscores.
That's right.
Woodward is exactly how you would expect it to be.
That's right. That's right.
Is there anything else?
No.
We
That's
love
all
you.
I got.
We love you so
I love
much.
you guys so
Love
much
you.
too. It's so good to see you.
Congrats on your new place. I'm so happy that it's
Thank you.
going well a year
Thank
in.
you.
Exactly
It's-
a year in.
Yeah, it's been a really fun year.
It's all good for you.
There were a bunch of things here, but something about, do you really have a 62 Cobra? Blah, blah, blah.
Do I?
I'm 62.
No, I
No,
don't.
somebody else's. All this stuff is happening here. Blah,
Oh.
blah, blah. They're all having their own
Never
little
too old,
conversation
Skip.
there. But and then the Instagram audience, I'm sorry that we didn't really get to you as well because it just was not in the best place. Oh, gosh. It just was not in the best place. And I'm sorry for that. It
But
will
we
be better.
love you.
It will be better
We
on
love you anyway.
Thursday.
We
Yeah.
love you so much.
I will have figured this out. But at least we got the audio down. I love you. We love you. Let's see.
Love you guys.
Follow Lynn Woodward.
Big
We did
times.
that.
That's it. You
Good
can also
nights.
watch videos on the Kelly Blue Book YouTube channel.
Please do.
Me,
Please
Micah
do.
Museo, Mike Danger, all of us.
Hilarious. They're quite funny. I think
Hilarity
yours are very funny.
ensues.
Hilarity ensues. Thursday, Sierra Madre and the rest of Lit Week will be going on. Yeah, that's what's happening. And then we'll be here again with a show as well, 5 at 5 on Thursday. So that's it. And then Good Vibes on Friday. I love you. We love you. We all love you.
Yes.
And you.
All of you.
I think Jeff
all
Swart's
of you.
actually still here. It's kind of funny.
Is
Of
he?
all the people who are still here, yeah. It's
Hi,
amazing.
Zwart. I hope sometime to shake your hand, my friend.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right.
Super
we
cool.
love everybody. See you out there.
Water is good, you guys. I'm talking too much. Close course. Don't try to sit home, people.